Hey there guys, we're taking a look at Killing Floor 2 running on the i5-1235U. Now the game is currently running at 1080p with the lowest in-game graphics settings, and the game is currently running on the Acer Aspire 3, and that is the 2022 edition, and it is only paired with 8GB of RAM. That is really important because you can see that we are pretty much maxing out the utilization of our RAM here, and I think that's what's causing the issues with 1% lows here, because we're getting some very solid averages, but the 1% lows are struggling, and you will have moments of stutter as things are loading in, and I really think that it is a RAM limitation that we're running into here. Now the game felt smooth enough to play. I really didn't feel any weird movements or anything like that on the mouse while testing it out, but it would be moments of heavy combat that would really introduce the problems, and you can see that with the frame time charts. And it's those heavy combat moments that really drag down the experience overall at 1080p. It's certainly doable, but it is pretty rough, and I think that if you really want to play this game on here, you're gonna need that 16GB upgrade, and even then that might not be enough for this to be perfectly playable at 1080p, but it does open up the avenue for 900p. As it stands right now, I really think that 1080p is just a little too demanding here. We're certainly almost there at it being a playable experience if those 1% lows could see an uplift. So if upgrading to 16GB of RAM actually saw that get uplifted even up to 30, it would make the experience so much better, and 1080p would actually be doable here. With that said, dropping down to 720p does make this experience significantly better, because now we're getting averages that are well above 60 and our 1% lows are just slightly below 50, making the overall experience very enjoyable like this. And I think it really just adds to the fact that I think that we are just RAM limited here, because at these lower settings, at the lower resolution, we're just going to need less RAM. And you can see the much bigger uplift that we're having specifically in those 1% lows, which were really struggling at 1080p and now are not really that much of a problem here, even though it is essentially half of what we're getting in terms of average. So the game is certainly doable at 1080p, but 720p really shines here, and 8GB of RAM is going to be a major limiting factor if you're not going to be able to upgrade. Currently, the system that I'm using, the Acer Aspire 3, actually has very easily upgraded memory, and I will be upgrading it at some point, but I will be doing more testing at 8GB because there are a lot of systems that are shipping with only 8GB of RAM, and especially going into the end of 2022 and early 2023, 8GB of RAM is going to be extremely limiting, because there are a lot of modern AAA games that are doable on these systems if you have the RAM for it, and 8GB is really just pushing the limits. So if you're interested in getting a system with this chip and you want it for cheap, you can of course pick it up at Walmart. Check out the affiliate links down below in the description. I appreciate you watching. I will see you in the next one.